Hello, YouTube and X, Facebook, whoever's watching. It's your main man, BTM here, bringing you back to the Black Tiger Miner Crypto News Network. And as I told you guys, it's only going to take one announcement, one thing, one quote, and the market is going to come roaring back. And I told you guys, it's only a matter of time before this guy says something and everybody jumps in. I'm almost to the point where I think he might have timed this or he might be planning something. It's all just real weird that this happened today on the on a Wednesday, right? Right before the bull market was set to run. It is April. Historically speaking, is when April starts to turn up, right? This is when things start going and the market starts to pick up and things begin to run. I'm trying to see. I'll look at that in a second. But of course, there's an announcement, right? New news. What is this? Trump announces 90-day pause on tariffs for trading partners except China. This happened right in time for the altcoin season bull run, right? 90 days would be, what is this? April, May, June. So right in time for July and the summer to kick all the way in. Let me turn on the spotlight. I wasn't even going to do a video today, but then I saw that announcement and I was like, oh, heck nah. Heck nah, bro. We got to go live. We got to be in and let people know. So this is Trump announces, why is this jury up here? That's weird. Trump announced 90-day pause on tariffs for all trading partners except China. And that is everything that's popping, right? President Trump says he's pausing tariff scheme for all trading partners except China for 90 days. Question, why 90 days? Because the bull run's coming. Why would he do this just for a short period of time? Because the bull run's coming. Why is he trying to do it for everyone just China? Because the bull run's coming, right? All this is perfectly timed. I don't know if this guy's a genius or a madman. In a post on X just before 1 p.m. Wednesday, Trump wrote at 1 p.m. Dude, it's timing. This guy's either a genius or a madman. Yes, diamond bullish, super bullish. I'm going to show you the charts in a minute. Based on the fact that more than 75 countries have called representatives of the United States, including the Department of Commerce, Treasury, and USTR. What the freak is USTR? What is USTR? That's weird. To negotiate a solution to the subject being discussed relative to trade barriers and tariffs, currency manipulation, and non-monetary tariffs. And these countries have not, my strong suggestions, companies have not, what? Retaliated in any way, shape, or form against the United States. Have authorized a 90-day pause and substantially lowering reciprocation of tariffs of this period. 10 cent, also effective immediately. Thank you for your attention to this matter. So again, this is perfect timing, right? However, said duties against China would climb to a total of 125 effective immediately, based on the lack of respect that China has shown to the world's market. I hereby raising the tariffs charged to China by the United States of America to 125. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, China, 125%. He wrote, at some point, hopefully in the near future, China will realize that the days of ripping off the USA and other countries is no longer sustainable or acceptable. I don't know. I don't know what to say here, guys. I don't. It's just maddening, right? Kind of looked at this and was like, "What the freak?" Trump announces 90-day pause. This is on Reuters. United States President Donald Trump said Wednesday he authorized a 90-day pause of his tariff plan, but also raising tariff rates to China to 125 effective immediately. That's a short. That was a short, super article. Let's look at the charts. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, king, queens, and in-betweens. When have we seen an all green crypto market since this guy's been talking tariffs, right? Everything is up. Farcorn's up 29%, Baby Dodge up 7%, Cat Dog with a Hat's up 13, AI 16, Z is up 17, Pepe's up 14, Renders up 17, Piles up 30. GigaChat ain't been up all month. Look at this. GigaChat ain't been up since what is this? Da, 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 da. Not putting the date. Since that's a week chart. Since what is this? March, right? Ain't been doing nothing since March. Ain't been doing nothing. Ondo's up. Ondo's also another banger that hasn't done nothing since March, right? Nothing's been moving since he started the tariff talks. As soon as he caused this pause, look at this. Everything, is this March? Everything's been down. Everything. This is the only upward trajectory we've seen in months. Casper, look at the month chart, ain't been moving since March. Nothing's been moved. Since March 24th is when he made that announcement about the tariffs, right? I think it's when he made the announcement. I got to go back to see what happened on March 24th. But since then, everything has been down. And of course, let's check our main crypto, the number one pusher, the best thing in the crypto ecosystem. XRP is back over $2, right? We are here up 9% today. I'm telling you guys, this is when it runs. So look, this is March 19th, then went to March 26th. Since March 26th, XRP has been down, way down. And you can see now it is running, right? It is up 10%. We're back over $2. Let me see here. Up 1.6%, up 9% in the past 24 hours. Bitcoin's up 2%. Let me look at the trading view. So you can see here a nice big candle on the 4-hour chart. RSI is crazy up today. XRP, RSI is up and it's starting to come down. I guess people are cashing out because we're over $2. Currently, it's coming back down on the 1-hour chart. On the 15-minute chart, looks like it's bouncing up and down, but the RSI is crazy. So the announcement came out about 1:30, which would be about here. Maybe it'd be 12:30. Since the announcement came, people ran and bought, right? They're buying it up. That's what I told you guys. It's only going to take one big announcement, and things are starting to pick up. Even on the 5-minute chart, RSI is above 70, guys. That is crazy hot for anything, especially XRP. And let me see, close these announcements out. And we'll go over to Twitter. But before we do that, there is something talking about the first XRP ETF in the United States. Let me see if we can run this real quick. Do we have the sound on? Always got to triple check the sound because for some reason it doesn't always come out. I haven't quite figured that out yet either. But let's see here. Let me make sure the sound mixer's on. Okay, and that's not. Let me see here. Where is? Dang it! Where is it when you need it? Where is the dang? That's just crazy. That's weird because if I wasn't trying to do it, it would come right up. Is this guy? Okay, there we go. So it is up. So let's see what this video is talking about these tariffs.
under SEC review. The chart of the day is presented by Crypto.com, the leading crypto platform trusted by over 100 million users worldwide. Let's take a look. Chart of the day. XRP rising about 6% from 24-hour lows to just under $2 before shedding those gains as the first XRP ETF launched in the United States Tuesday with Tucrium's 2x leveraged fund, ticker XXRP, on the NYSE Arca exchange. The ETF's debut precedes the approval of a standard spot XRP ETF, which is unusual for new asset classes. Tucrium's leveraged ETF arrives amid a flurry of applications for spot XRP ETFs still under SEC review from asset managers such as Bitwise, WisdomTree, and Franklin Templeton. Tucrium warns of potential challenges due to XRP's price volatility and declining usage on the Ripple network. Separately, Ripple agreed to acquire multi-asset prime brokerage firm Hidden Road for $1.25 billion, marking one of the largest M&A deals in the digital asset industry to date. CoinDesk reported that Hidden Road was in active takeover talks last week. I'm Christine Lee. For more crypto news headlines, head on over to CoinDesk.com.
So that was the announcement about the ETF, which wasn't really a whole lot of announcement. They could have kept that. I'm getting kind of weary of CoinDesk with these announcements that don't really be announcements. So this is your main man, BTM's Crypto News Network, and we will be having a AMA at 4 in the morning with Mexi, because I guess we're with Mexi and Mexi's overseas. I don't know. But definitely tune in to that, which is tomorrow at 10 a.m. UTC time, which I think is like 5 hours behind us. And we will be in Central Time at 4 a.m. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe and get the word out. Breaking news, BlackRock. You sure it says Grayscale. I thought it said BlackRock. I should put BlackRock on here instead of Grayscale. But I guess the Grayscale ETF was the initial call about this t-shirt. Don't forget to find the Etsy link and check me out on Etsy. You can pick up your XRP shirts, your Casper shirts. I think there's a couple Turbo shirts there as well. I'll put the link in the description. XRP to pour 9 trillion into, I'm tripping, BlackRock to pour 9 trillion into XRP. In a groundbreaking revelation for the digital asset market, BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager with a staggering 9 trillion in assets under management, is reportedly eyeing XRP for a potential spot ETF. This possibly has united massive speculation among analysts, including Ashley Prosper, like I know who that is, who recently took to X, formerly Twitter, to examine if BlackRock's potential spot ETF might be introduced before Ripple versus SEC case concludes. This would be strategic. I don't know, we can't read that because they freaking cut it off. But that's really good information about XRP and BlackRock, which is the big boys, right? And BlackRock is investing in you, you are all the way live. It looks like XRP and the rest of the market is making a comeback. What's the big news? The big news is the tariffs. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe and super chat. Breaking news, Trump 90-day tariff pause for countries that have reached out to the U.S. to negotiate. I think this was the plan all along, guys. I think that's what he wanted. He wanted to squeeze these guys for them to come out and negotiate with them. XRP is soaring with great news. The first leverage XRP ETF launched. SEC drops case. $50 million settlement clears the path, and Coinbase adds XRP futures. Bullish time ahead for XRP. If you like it, I love it. Let's go. See what this is. We will take a close look at regulatory impediments to blockchain, stablecoin, and other new payment systems. The United States Secretary of Treasury, Scott Beesman, who cares? Let's see what he has to say, though.
We'll take a close look at regulatory impediments to blockchain, stablecoins, and new payment systems. And we will consider reforms to unleash the awesome power of the American capital markets. Americans deserve a financial services industry that works for all Americans, including and especially Main Street. Under President Trump's leadership, the Treasury Department and I will deliver that to you. Thank you. We will take.
So keeping it moving. 1,452 XRP on September 1st. Do you trust the chart? I trust the chart, but I don't know if I trust the chart that much. Bro, almost $1,500 per XRP token. We would be rich or wealthy. Actually, we would probably be wealthy. We'd be beyond rich, but I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about Steph and his crypto. He's usually kind of crazy bullish, so this might just be clickbait, but I don't know. What do you think, guys? Just hit the like button if you are an XRP holder. XRP is up 10% on the day. 90-day pause, except China, which is now up to 125%. Market rips. Like mentioned in today's stream, good luck traders. All it takes is a tweet. That's what I'm telling you. Just all you gotta do is say something. I think we read this already. This is the other tweet from earlier we read on the news article. Trump is slapping a massive 125% tariff on China while granting a 90-day tariff break to all the other countries. Kaboom! Folks, get ready for a price rebound and a thrilling surge upward. We have go for liftoff. So I think this is what we just saw about the secretary, the secretary of the Treasury. So I guess we pretty much exhausted. Let me check the coin ranking real quick. See what coin ranking has to say. But you can see here, even the stock market is pumping. Up 9%. The Nasdaq, the Dow is up 6%. XRP's up 9%. Bitcoin is up 5%. Solana is up 11%. Why is Solana even on my watch list? I don't know. Bitcoin, Amazon's up 9. Ethereum's up 10. What happened? Binance is up 5. S&P 500's up 8. Just in time for the summer, guys. Like he paused it right on the summer. Cardano's up 10%. I don't know why this keeps jumping back and forth, but I'm sick of it. Sick of it. I'm not going to keep looking at that. This is coin ranking. So XRP is still behind US Tether. XRP's up 9%. Tether is up 0.10. Ethereum is up 11%. Ethereum ain't been up in months. I don't even know if Ethereum has been up in months. Let's see, 24, 3 months. Yeah, Ethereum's been down since January, right? Ethereum ain't done nothing since January. With this announcement, even Ethereum is up. So I don't know if he planned this or what, but in the past 24 hours, Ethereum is up 11%. I should have grabbed some while it was down. I just don't trust Ethereum much, but we will see. So let me know what you guys think for price prediction. Do you think the prices will continue to run? Oh, that's why it does that. It keeps clicking on different things. BlackRock is up 3%. That's BlackBerry. I'm tripping. Nvidia's up 15%. I need to check my stocks actually. But let me know what you guys think about that as well. What the freak? Guess we'll check out a couple of videos and see what is going on. And while we can close some of these down, keep blacking out, close out Trader View and close out whatever this is. You can keep it cool with the crypto bubbles. And let's check out a quick video. So this is wait. This is my main man.
Holy
Maker.
smokies, it ain't no joke. Breaking crypto, XRP stock, everything is pumping right now. We got massive news from Donald Trump. Don't you know? Pump it. Let's wait for a second. Hold the horses. Let's wait and see that this is true. The news that just came out. I had a whole video planned, and I was like, okay, we're gonna do the video. I had lots of news and things, and then suddenly the market started pumping. I was like, whoa, wait a second, what happened here? So I'm seeing headlines. We'll talk about the headlines, but if I see later that this is fake news, or this is, like we've seen this before, that it's fake news, then I'll write in the comment section, fake news, in the pinned comment. So make sure to go there and check if it's fake news or not. Right. So if we go and we look, you can see XRP is pumping 10%. Bitcoin is up over 6%. S&P 500 is pumping. Let's see, I circled because I was like, what's going on? S&P 500 is up 6%. Holy smokus, it ain't no jokis. It seems to be recovering. You might be, Avi, what's the big news? I'm not going to beat around the bush too much today. But all I ask from you is that you give me a beautiful smile, smash that like button. So this is what is now out there from Truth Social. And this is, I don't have Truth Social. So we're going to have to, people are posting this. So we're going to have to think for now that this is real, based on lack of respect that China has shown to the world markets. I hereby raising the tariff charge to China by the United States of America by 125%, effective immediately. At some point, hopefully in the near future, China will realize that days of ripping off the USA and other countries is no longer sustainable or acceptable. Conversely, and based on the fact that more than 75 countries have called representatives of the United States, including the Department of Commerce, Treasury, and the USTR, to negotiate a solution to the subjects being discussed relative to trade barriers, tariffs, currency manipulation, and non-monetary tariffs, and these countries have not, at my strong suggestions, retaliated in any way, shape, or form against the United States, I have authorized a 90-day pause and a substantially lowered reciprocal tariff during this period of 10%, also effective immediately. Thank you for attention to this matter. And of course, markets are pumping because now we have a little bit more clarity. We have this pause. China was going to be part of the news. Where was it? There was news that China was coming back with another reciprocal tariff back on the United States of America. And then Bestnet was asked about removing Chinese stocks potentially from New York Stock Exchange. Everything is on the table, he said. Here, China announces additional tariffs of 84% on goods beginning April 10th. So that happened in the afternoon. And so Trump came back with the 125% on them additionally. And so the markets are liking this. You can see XRP pumping, Bitcoin pumping, everything pumping, basically. The NASDAQ, 8%. Wow. Now, we've seen this before. We've seen this. We remember the news a few days ago where the markets were pumping. So let's see how this plays out. Again, maybe by the time we see this, I'm going to refresh my Twitter feed just to make sure. While I'm doing that, I see it popping up for more people, for more accounts. So it seems like this is for real for now. And of course, like I said, if it's fake, I'll update you in the comment section. Kevin O'Leary says we should give 400% to China. This will be interesting. But the market is liking this, even though the battle between China and the US is still on. This is a little bit more clarity, a little bit more time for the markets. And if it's only between China and US, it's not the end of the world. Many countries around the world weren't happy with these tariffs. And if it's just 10% across the board, then that's okay. But some countries like 50, 60, and they didn't really calculate it correctly from what I was reading. So this is a good thing. And of course, the market is reacting favorably to this. We got news about the European Commission say they would be opposing countermeasures against US tariffs beginning April 15th, but they're not getting pushed back on. So the EU is going to be okay. And this was interesting because I was reading this before. You had rapidly rising long-term interest rates, GDP set to decline, inflation data back on the rise, large wave of tariffs in 100 years, consumer sentiment at pandemic levels, stock market in bear. And so the president was like, okay, let's cool off a little bit. Let's sit back, think only China. China, I'm not backing down. And we'll see what's going to happen here. This is very interesting. You had already people saying, oh, the market's going to crash, Bitcoin's going to crash. And I saw a few tweets about how MicroStrategy might need to sell their assets in order to cover some of their debt and putting out fear. And Michael Saylor put out a tweet, hodl. Right? And we had earlier in the day, we'll get to JP Morgan in just a second, but we had President Trump saying this is a great time to buy. Now, back in 2018, we talked about it this morning, when we also had these trade wars, and 2018, the market dropped significantly as well. Trump also made a statement like this, and the market, it was one day from the bottom. So that was today. If he said this is a great time to buy, he must have known that he was going to announce this later in the day. So, if the president tells you, is that insider information? I don't know. Right? Because he knew that it was coming. So he's like, buy, buy, buy. And that's why we also, I think, saw the market was already green.
I was excited and all, but kind of why is he laughing like that? That's kind of weird. But shout out to Moneymaker Live Leave and see what he has to say. We'll finish up this video and keep it moving to, I guess this is Oscar. And then actually, is this even in English? Let me see here. Oh, there no sound.
Was hier gerade passiert. Des Weiteren habe ich für euch einen unheimlich interessanten Thread, dass die Zölle.
I guess we're not watching that video. I'm glad I checked. That would be kind of weird. Let me see here. Let me see. Let's go back to
In the morning before this announcement. And of course, shorts are going to get squeezed right now. You can see Bitcoin, XRP, we're already back over $2. So we'll see. We'll see how people that were short on the market are going to, the last hour, kaboom, right? 60 million, 30 million XRP, 7 million and 7.4 million just right now on the short. So we could potentially see a short squeeze here. And this is going to be very, very interesting to see. And you had, JP Morgan coming out that's saying U.S. recession is now the likely outcome of President Trump's trade war. So, okay, so now what? If we have a pause, is it going to be a recession? Yes, no, maybe. And we had President Trump's executive director of digital assets coming out and saying that they are ushering in a golden age for crypto. Ushering, not unshearing, ushering in a golden age for crypto. I'm just excited about the green. And so this is going to be very interesting to see, again, how all this plays out. I know that in the past few days, President Trump probably hasn't been thinking a lot about their hidden road purchase and how it's going to use crypto because of the tariffs and the mess about it, and geopolitical stuff. So probably crypto was, in the back of his mind. But it's going to be very interesting to see how it plays out. We also got a step further in the process. for the new SEC chairman to be voted into his job, Paul Atkins. The vote in the Senate was 51-45, which is kind of close. 45 didn't want him, but he went through. The upper chamber is now set to move forward with the final vote on Atkins potentially as soon as this evening. So we could have potentially in a few hours an update on whether or not the new SEC chairman is voted in. And that's going to be very interesting. And then we'll maybe after that happens, we'll get an update, a final update
Morning,
on
guys.
the Ripple versus
Welcome
SEC
to
case.
Coffee Chat.
That, you know, it's signed, sealed, and delivered, that 0.01% that we've been waiting for, you know, for the market, for the SEC to just sign the removal of the appeal and Ripple sign their part on it. So will be interesting to see how it plays out. There's going to be a battle right now, I think, between shorts and longs, because we saw a little bit of a short squeeze, but there could be a little bit of profit taking. So again, just be careful out there. You see, you can never know. Like in the morning, it might have been looking really bad, another tariff from China. But then in the afternoon, things totally shift. And this is one of the reasons why. Again, I'll never tell you to buy, to sell, or to hold, because I don't know what the president is going to do, what the president is going to say, what China is going to do. Like intraday, it's very, very hard to find these things. Of course, long term, I'm still very, very bullish on the crypto market. I'm very bullish on crypto in general, and you know, stock market specific stocks. I'm super bullish on, but that's, you know, for another day. It will be interesting to see how high XRP could potentially get here in the next coming hours, or if we see a pullback. But it looks like we're getting a little bit of a short squeeze. So hopefully, right, knock on wood, that this is truth. It's not fake news, and we're all good. Okay. As always, not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence before you decide to invest. Remember, I'll never.
So shout out to the breaking news from Money Maker. So let's go to Digital Outlook. This is a pretty long video. Actually, hold on. Let me see. Hold on. What is this? Actually, let's check an Oscar out real quick. What time is it? And then we'll go to who is this guy? Because Oscar's talking about Digital Outlook on the BTM Crypto News Network. We are live because crypto is pumping. You can see here green, 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 and green. Let's go. XRP came down 2%. But let's see what Oscar's talking about and keep it moving.
We are gonna make so much money that you're not gonna believe it. I believe it. Can XRP go to $10? Of course. Well, take a look at what I have on the screen right now. It's as good as it gets. Standard Chartered Bank is predicting this. Could hit, of course, 10, 12, yes. I'm going to show you the prices right now, some predictions right now. I saw them when I went to Singapore, one of the biggest banks that you see all over there in the main plaza, right? And this is not a small player just to ignore. By the end of this video, we're gonna go over this, guys, because it happened yesterday on the 8th. I didn't see it because yesterday was havoc. It was crazy. We continue to see Trump and Xi Jinping, China and the U.S. going back and forth with tariffs. 104.84. It's a mess, right? I'm gonna show you that too. Give you all the breakdown. The price of XRP, even after everything, 184 and rising. Who bought the dip? Who bought the dip? So basic. When there's FUD, I buy. When there's FOMO, I hold. Have I reached my level to get out? $3. Was that my level to get out? No. Then I don't sell. If we reach $5, could I sell? That will be a 10x for me because we bought at 50 cents. But I realistically won't sell because I know we can go much higher. Guys, smash the like button right now. Let everybody know that the potential that we can reach. Oscar Live, back at you with more updates, because, oh, by the way, This is so fun, guys. This is really, really, really fun. Guess who is already saying this is a great time? Donald J. Trump, everybody, is telling us today, about 1 hour ago, this is a great time to buy Donald J. Trump. Even Donald is saying, be cool. Everything is going to work out well. The USA will be bigger, better than ever before, which is pretty cool, guys. Now, looking at the price of XRP right now, can we reach those levels? Well, this is how. This is why you might want to consider, right? XRP is uniquely positioned at the heart of the cross-border payments, the report said, right? So XRP could reach 12.50 by 2028 year end, Standard Shatter said. So this is not me, this is not you, this is the bank that is predicting. The bank said XRP is uniquely positioned, and XRP is expected to keep pace with Bitcoin in terms of price gains. That's what the report said, right? So XRP could rise, and before Trump leaves. So in the Standard Shatter report on Tuesday, initiating coverage of Ripple-related token. So Standard Shatter predicts that XRP will reach 550 by this year. That alone is amazing. $8 by 2026, $10.40 by 2027, and $12.50 by 2028. Guys, right now, these are the numbers that I'm going to use for all my future videos, because I'm going to go ahead and find a report for you. We're going to go, this is the initial prediction video for you guys. So get ready. We're going to go ahead and discuss this. We're going to take our time. But what I'm saying, guys, is I'm already adding some positions. You yesterday saw me in the live open an Ethereum position, and I'm still holding some up. We're making some money. I bought more Bitcoin. I've been adding. I bought more XRP at 169. Then, I mean, this is the time to go in for me. If you guys want to do it, click the link down below and sign up on BTCC. This is your time, man. This is my link. That's my code. Once you click, easy. It works, guys. No VPN, no KYC. If you live in the UK, it's not you won't be able to use it, but that I know of. Other than that, you're good to go. Always do your research. Canada, the US, you're good to go. All users can enjoy up to 40% lower $5 per XRP. Is it possible? Guys, yes, it is possible. Standard Shatter Bank is telling us that they're looking at $5 by the end of this year, 2025. That by itself will be historic. 5.5 by 2025 is historic, because the only reason, I want to stress this again, the only reason why everything is this way is because of these two guys. China 3 hours ago announcing additional 84% tariffs on US goods. You know what? Even after the 104% tariff that we were live yesterday, it kicked in at 12 Eastern time. There was no crash. There was no major fall or so. No, I was live there. I went live, about 20, 25 minutes after 12 Eastern. It was all fine. It's like the market already knows. Oh, okay. I mean, chill out. This is so good, fam. We've been buying the dip. I know some people want to see more blood, and they think that we're going to 140, 130 under $1 XRP. It's many variables, right? The 10-year note also is going up, right? Which is not good, according to some economists. So the plan here is to address the fact that as of right now, we're doing really well. And even some other people acknowledge that. And look, responses on this guy's channel, I think, say all these XRP influencers need to understand that they're harming people with these price predictions. Well, in reality, that was Standard Shatter Bank. Talk to them, right? I'm quoting what the bank is saying, right? Which you and I knew, regardless, right, that XRP could hit at $10, no problem, right? So Coin Telegraphed, Alcon Daily, like all of them, right, are sharing this same prediction that I'm telling you right now. So that'll be incredible. I think the one that a lot of people don't talk about is this one, right? So 550 by these years, and if 550 comes, that will be literally at 2x where a lot of people bought, which is mid twos. We've been at $2 for a while. So if you guys did it at $2, I mean, Standard Chartered Bank just explaining how there's a chance, and even Donald J. Trump is saying, look, it's a great time to buy. Obviously, you and I know, guys, how Eric Trump said that. And let me go to Watch Your Guru. I'm going to show you this. Oh, there it is. China Amazon cancels inventory orders from China due to tariffs. Interesting. So I just posted I replied in this one. All right, here. Wait. There's so many. Is it Donald? Here. So somebody replied, in my opinion, it's a great time to buy. Be sure to say thank you, because obviously you and I know what he said at the beginning of the month, and then the price collapsed, right? Ethereum, right? So hopefully this is not gonna be hopefully a repeat of what Ethereum did, which just started going down, right? So for the sanity of everybody, we hope that April can now start coming back a little bit more despite everything that has occurred. But guys, isn't that crazy? Smash your like button, guys. Let everybody know we're here, just keeping you in the know with all the updates. And Levi, one of the content creators I followed too, it's posting something about banks too all over the world. There's like a temporary suspend services on April 20 for what's called faster payment system maintenance. But let's read between the lines. Moves bunch of billions, across global networks, using through Swift and more. Publicly supported XRP ledger, already in line with the ISO 222. So what it's basically saying is,
But as I mentioned previously, that's crazy that he made the announcement and he kept telling us low key, get ready that the market's about to take off or buy on the dip pretty much. And of course, all of a sudden, things started taking off. So that's kind of weird. But let me go back to the BTM page. Shout out to Mexi. I'm having a Mexi navigating the next phase of meme coin revolution today at actually tomorrow at 4 in the morning. But let's get back to this next video. This is who is this? Digital Outlook. So see what he has to say, and we'll be right back.
Strong cup of coffee before this day's over. I'll tell you that right now. I put an extra pump of syrup in mine because, guys, I'm telling you what, right now, before the markets have even opened, we've already dropped about 800 points on the Dow. Guys, this whole tariff thing, that is just shaking the wide world up is part of the plan. It is part of the plan. I'm telling you, we are not going to get reset. We are in the reset right now, guys. It is happening in real time. You are watching it. All this pressure that is being put on these markets globally, the way that it is, Guys, it's done with intention. It is intentional. And they are shaking the tree like crazy. Now, I've been reading comments on the prior videos and things like that. And folks are saying, well, I'm just too, it's just XRP should have moved by now, blah, 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 and on and on. Guys, if you don't have the patience for it and you don't have the stomach for it and all that kind of stuff, you can't handle the volatility. Then you may very well decide you might want to get out of this space because guys, this is what this space is. It is extremely volatile. In any major change, when you go through it, the volatility is either at the beginning or at the end, whatever those transitions are. And I'm telling you guys right now, that is exactly where I believe we are at in this point, in this whole change to this new system. We are at probably one of the fulcrum of the volatility, and it is on like crazy. And guys, to me, this is opportunity. That is how Judy and I are absolutely looking at it and digesting it, because I don't think it's going to stay like this forever. I think things are going to get settled out. I think things are going to come back to a level type of normalcy and things like that. But when you're talking about a monetary change as tremendous as this one will be, and the fortunes that will be made, you can expect that kind of volatility. I'll tell you what. Now, I want to quote something that Gerald Celente had said a long time ago. He said, currency war, trade war, world war. Guys, it has been, we've seen it. It's problem, reaction, solution. And we're watching it happen in real time. And this is all about the debt markets. I'm telling you, all this kind of stuff is going to force the central banks are going to be dropping rates. Liquidity is going to pour into markets. But guys, they are going to turn on some engines. And one of the biggest engines that they have ever had has been conflict, war, right? Now, right now, you can almost say we are not, this is a trade war like crazy right now. You are watching them fire off, you know, these missiles like insane. And of course, China has come out, put 84%, raised tariffs on US goods by 84%. Well, Donald Trump has vowed to respond to that. And what's he going to do? He raised it 104%. Is he going to raise it another 100 plus percent? We don't know. But we do know, guys, that this is causing a major global shakeup. Trillions of dollars have been evaporated from markets as a result of this, of what's going on. And I don't think, guys, that any of these folks, these politicians, are out there working just on their own accord. There are major money-making businesses around the world that influence, come on, all these politicians that were aware of what was coming. Don't kid yourself. Do you think that they did not have talks? Do you think that they didn't, consult their advisors and all this kind of stuff before they started going down this road? But that's where we're at, guys. That is where we're at. And you can expect to see some major reaction and volatility in the markets, and especially in this digital asset space. I believe that for sure. Hmm. But it doesn't change where we're going, guys. It does not change where the world is headed into the future. It doesn't, in fact, it probably accelerates it. And that being said, the utility of these assets is really what it's going to shine. It's not going to be the speculative move, guys. It's going to be which of these protocols are absolutely solving the global problems that we have. Have you ever heard this space, this term used for this space? A trustless system. Because the big issue here between a lot of these nation states, of course, is trust. Well, when you have the reason why we call it a trustless system is you don't have to trust one another. You trust the technology. The technology is going to absolutely come in and save the day. And it's been all planned, in my estimation, from the dots that I've been able to connect. It has been planned from a way back. And here we are. And I absolutely believe it's possible. In fact, there are people out there long ago that said XRP was created to prevent a World War III. you've never heard that, just Google that and look that up and you see where that was said. And guys, it would not surprise me one iota if there is a solution to all of these this trade war and everything that's going on. It is going to involve these digital assets. Distributed ledger technology is going to change the way the world absolutely works, how value is transacted across the globe. This is the Internet of Value. The fourth industrial revolution is what they're calling it. Well, guys, when there's a revolution, usually there's conflict right there. Yep. Mm-hmm. And you want to just keep your thinking cap on. And that's why I say, if you don't have the stomach for it, you don't have the nerves for it, and that kind of stuff. If you can't, navigate the ups and the downs and the volatility in this period of time, then maybe for the sake of your mental health, emotional health, whatever you want to call it, you back out. That's okay. But for us, I remember the scripture. There's a scripture where the 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 nation of Israel was going into the promised land. And I think Joshua said this, and they were all the foreign gods were all there and all this and this and that. And Joshua comes out and he says, if you decide to go with them, then go with them. But as for me and my house, we're going to serve the Lord. Well, I'm going to use this analogy. If you decide that it's not for you and things like that, and you can't wait and you're impatient or whatever it is, then hey, go with that. But as for me and my house, I'm looking down the road at the future. And I can see that they are going to be employing this distributed ledger technology. The technology and the functionality has not changed one iota. In fact, the need for it has only just increased exponentially. And I believe the application and the implementation of these distributed ledger technologies, various assets, is going to cause an explosion in the price and the utilization of them because they're going to solve so many problems. Now, will everything survive this? No, it won't. There's tens of thousands of these things in this space. I don't think all of them are going to survive. Guys, I think it's literally going to get cut down to maybe less than 50 or less, well, maybe less than 100, but it's not going to be the tens of thousands that there are right now. To me, this is like the early days of the internet on steroids. And look at what if you just had a little bit of exposure to some of these companies, my gosh, your world would have been changed. And how? That's what I believe. That is my 100% biased opinion. Now, something else that came out, and I want to point this out right here. HSBC is actually going to have a pause on Easter. Actually, Easter Day, they're going to have a pause where they're going to, be transitioning to a quicker payment system and all this and that. So they're not going to have functionality. What they're not telling you guys is that HSBC has literally hundreds of billions of dollars go through it in terms of cross-border remittances and payments. And also they are a massive Ripple partner and have come out and supported, verbally, Ripple and its technology in a big way. Guys, wait and see to what happens. It is going to be something else. That's what I would have to say right there. Hmm. Don't get buffalo, guys. Don't get scared. Don't get spooked. Don't make decisions based on emotion. Like Shakespeare said, really how you navigate this space, how you win this space is to know thyself. Know thyself, because it's right in here. You see, if I could talk you into it, someone else can talk you out of it. That inside right here is called conviction. You need a reservoir of conviction to draw on when things get bleak, when things look shaky, when things get dark. Look, we all like to say, hey, when the sun's not shining, I still believe it's there. I mean, the clouds covered, it's dark, and you're thinking, my God, where'd the sun go? Is it ever coming back? No, we don't think like that. Why? Because we've lived through storms, we've lived through nights, we've lived through dark times, and guess what? Sun still came out, didn't it? Eventually. Guys, I think we're going to see the sun rise on this system again and rise on this, these markets. Distributed ledger technology is going to come in. And remember the whole phoenix rising from the ashes kind of stuff? Well, guys, for there to be ashes, something else had to get burned down. Now, they've done their very best to kind of dismantle it slowly, but guys, they're running out of time. and they know it. And so, in my estimation, they are going to literally take the rest of it and crumble it down as fast as they can, and then wait and see. Wait and see how things change and what the result is. I'm telling you, in my estimation, it's going to represent the greatest wealth transfer in the history of mankind. But most folks are gonna miss it, and for three reasons. Number one, they have a bias against it. Number two, they're oblivious to it. Number three, they get scared right out of it. That's my estimation. That's what I think. So, for my encouragement to you is look, know what you hold. Get to build up that reservoir of your conviction. And you do that, guys, by getting out there and researching it for yourself. YouTube is fantastic. It is great. I love YouTube myself. I watch folks on YouTube myself. It's confluence, guys. It is not research, it is confluence. Get out there and really get to understand what it is that you have put your hard earned investment dollars in. You've got to know that. Build that up. It is so vitally important for you. And that's what I do. That's why we do the coaching that we do, is so that people can at least get down that road so that they get there and they're not just literally, like I say, dust in the wind, getting all shaken out. That is how I look at it, guys. We care about you. I want you to make it. I want you to understand it. But I also don't want you to lose your peace and literally be living, biting the fingernails right off your fingers, in the space either. That is not good for anybody, Jesus himself said one time, he said, don't worry about tomorrow. Sufficient unto the day is the evil thereof. And he said, who of you by worrying could add, 1 minute to your lifetime? Well, nobody. That's the rhetorical answer to that rhetorical question. Nobody. Of course you can, but you can sure take some off by worrying. That's for sure. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's 100% correct about worrying. Worrying doesn't help anything. It just stresses you out. And from the video, this is from earlier, so I'm not even sure he even knew about the actual information that was coming down the pipeline. I don't know why I keep going back to this, but this is crypto with clause, and he's talking about XRP and XRPL used as a hidden road. So let's see what he has to say real quick. Thanks for joining the Black Tiger Miner Crypto News Network, trying to keep you updated on all upcoming and news events. But again, as a reminder, we got a AMA with Mexi tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. UTC, which is 4 a.m. Central Standard Time. So I don't know if you guys will be around for that, but I'll probably talk about it after the go live. But thanks for joining, and let's get back to crypto with Claus. See what he has to say.
XRP and XRPL. We'll talk price action at the end, along with tariffs triggering market crashes. CPI data tomorrow. And
I say lots of naughty things, so here's your warning.
That's right, you heard me correctly. Ripple's going to be using XRP with their hidden road purchase. But before we get into the news and the discount on aisle 5 and the screen, your comments come first. Hot, spicy, naughty, relevant. Maybe I'll share it with everyone at the beginning of the next video. Paul Martin says, I always knew Saylor would do this. He bet against future debt and bought the top BTC because he's a moron. Yeah, I agree. When you look at Saylor, he bought a ton of BTC during FOMO time. Yeah, and now my guy might even have to sell. So did Saylor buy high and sell low? Nigel Moffat's hanging out with us, dropping support on the channel. Thank you kindly, sources. Thanks. Always cheers me up to have a bit of Klaus on a shitty day. Well, I've got some good news, I've got some bad news, and I've got some red heat map news for you. Thank you for the support, kind sir. Deborah Bell dropping support on the channel as well, says you are the absolute best. I don't know about that. In the sea of crypto content news people, saying that I'm the best is not much of a compliment if you catch my drift. Bitcoin sitting at 76,961. We're going to talk about why the market's red and do we have any hope for turning green, or are we going to go further red? ETH at 1462, XRP at 179. I'm icing my foot down while I do this video. HBAR at 14.8, Sol at 104. XLM is melting faces, but they're melting what? 21-cent faces. Crypto markets off. What's triggering the market crash and global chaos? That's right. Last night we started seeing more action. Why? China, reciprocal tariffs. They're fighting back. I told you we would have to go through this. The so-called economic nuclear war triggered by President Trump introducing aggressive tariff plan has contributed to extreme instability in the global market. As of now, none of the top global markets are showing bullish signals except for China. Do we really believe them? The S&P 500, the Euro stocks, blah, blah, blah. Basically what happened was China snapped back and was like, all right, cool. We're going to raise your tariffs to 84%. This is from Bangkok, the AP. China again vowed to fight to the end Wednesday in an escalating trade war with the United States. Hey, that's today. It would raise tariffs on American goods to 84% on Thursday. So basically what's happening here is Trump is hoping that players come to the table and they remove the U.S. tariffs, or they come to an agreement that both parties like. China's like, no, girlfriend. You put tariffs on us, we're going to put even bigger tariffs on you. Beijing also added an array of countermeasures after U.S. President Trump raised the total tariff on China imports to 104%. Beijing said it was launching an additional suit against the U.S. at the World Trade Organization and placed further restrictions on American companies. This is what they said. If the U.S. insists on further escalating its economic and trade restrictions, China has the firm will and abundant means to take necessary countermeasures to fight to the end. Trade war causing us to go, what everyone, deep in the red in the discount zone. Department of Justice shuts down the National Cryptocurrency Enforcement Team. I'm cool with this. Listen to why. The department's Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche sent a memo on Monday announcing that the department will no longer pursue litigation or enforcement actions that have the effect of superimposing regulatory frameworks on digital assets. Basically, what they're saying is, look, we're not going to reach with the law. We're going to let new regs kind of come in and see what happens. Yeah, I think that's good because that's part of Choke Point 2.0, girlfriend. XRP ETF debuted yesterday. Here's how it performed. It doesn't fucking matter. And for any stupid ass knob gobbler, pea-tarded Dorfkin humper out there that says, oh, this Tecrium's 2x long, XRP was a good thing. No, it's not. You know why? Because the transactions are over the counter, which means it doesn't help us. It means it helps who? Ripple, the company. Yeah, so that's not good. So anyone out there that's like, oh, the world is changing. We launched our first XRP ETF. No, that's not good. All right. Ripple shelves the IPO plans even after the SEC lawsuit. Okay, I actually like this. The more I think about it, the more I don't want Ripple to go IPO. Because if they go IPO, that means then people would have more control over the direction of the company outside of Ripple. It's just like Microsoft. Microsoft went public, okay, a while ago. They wanted to add BTC to their strategic reserves. So they asked their people, their shareholders, do you want BTC in your strategic reserves? They voted no. So even if it's something that someone wanted, the shareholders can vote no. Long, talking about Monica Long, began providing more details on the recent deal between Ripple and the prime broker Hidden Road, which is going to be using XRP. I've got the story for you. You're going to love this. PR described Hidden Roads as one of the fastest growing prime brokers around the world. This is what she said. We are at an inflection point for the next phase of digital asset adoption. The U.S. market is effectively open for the first time due to the regulatory overhang of the SEC coming to an end. And the market is maturing to address the needs of traditional finance. Very important. All right, now let's get into Hidden Road because Garlinghouse is like, yo, XRP, XRPL, got the deets for it. Perhaps the most notable component of this deal is how Ripple plans to operationalize XRP and XRPL within Hidden Road services. Okay, let's learn. As detailed by Ripple's executive team, Hidden Road will begin clearing some trades through the XRP ledger, slashing settlement time from a full day via fiat rails to mere seconds. Fiat rails, my bad on that, everyone. This kind of efficiency gain is impressive. Now, here's where stuff gets very interesting. According to the momentum, Ripple's RLUSD will be used as collateral across Hidden Road's asset brokerage services. We knew that. They're going to be using stablecoins as collateral. This move positions RLUSD to become the cornerstone liquidity instrument. The implications are profound. With one digital asset, XRP, powering transfers and another backing trades. So essentially, they're only using XRP for gas fees on XRPL. That sucks. That they're not using XRP for settlement. They're saying it right here. They're going to be using RLUSD as the liquidity instrument, and XRP is what powers transactions on XRPL. And when we've gone on XRP Scan and XRP Ledger Explorer, guess what? We've learned that this doesn't do jack shit. It doesn't. There has been nothing that has happened on XRPL where XRP is used for gas fees that's helping out the price. Now, let's go into XRP specific. So again, the news here seems to be benefiting Ripple as a company and RLUSD as a product. Oh, my alerts on my phone were going off. Why? Because we got a discount, baby. Let's go to those candlesticks. We're going to swing it on over to the 15-minute candlestick here real quick. Because yes, XRP's volume is healthy at 7.2 billion, but it's the exchanges making money on that action. Yeah, they make money on the volume. Well, let's go back to those candlesticks and take a look. We got 15-minute up on the screen. I shared this with you yesterday. I said, hey, look, you've got a big pushback right around $2, a big pushback just a little under $2, and then we got a little bit of support eroni above what? Above 172. This is not good. Like, this is a very, very downward momentum push. And this is not what you want to see. Why? Because CPI data is happening tomorrow. And if CPI data is bad, more red up on the screen. China's also snapping back saying, girlfriend, tariffs? Oh, we're going to fight that tariff war to the end. Hence pushing the markets further down. XRP being used as no. XRP not being used for settlement or collateral. That's not good news. RLUSD is. The XRP ETF that launched. Transactions are over the counter, which does not benefit any of us because it does not mean they're going to be going through the exchanges and so forth. That's not good. You've got a lot of bad macros right now in the market. You've got obvious rejections at the $2 mark right here. And if we zoom out to the 1-day chart, this is where stuff gets scary, because I sure as hell hope that we didn't just pump all this with the November election hype to only erode it all the way on down. And here's why. Look at this. Look at these lows. These lows have gotten even lower. In fact, we even breached the Bloody Sunday price action. In fact, look, we are right now at the bottom of Bloody Sunday price action. And players are like, yo, we're not going any lower. That was February 3rd. Well, here we are 2 months and change later, and our low is even lower to $1.61. In fact, if you look at some of the other big cryptos out there that we'd like to follow, and let's bring up XLM real quick here. Watch XLMs when I go to the 1-year chart. Yeah, it appears as if we've pumped it all, and now we're eroding it all. XRP is holding a bit better here, right? When we go to the 1 year, you can see a little bit more of a support structure right here. But right now, we've got a lot of bearish sentiment. And yes, it is good news for Ripple to buy Hidden Road. Yes, it is good news for Ripple as a company in RLUSD. But when they say that XRP is powering transfers and RLUSD is backing trades, that sucks. We want XRP to be backing the trades. We want XRP to be providing liquidity, not the 0.00001 XRP that's used for gas. That sucks, everyone. And with China putting their feet on our throats, girlfriend, we might be riding the pain train for a while. And that's why I'm getting so annoyed with the crypto space. Everyone yesterday was like, oh, the ETF is awesome. No, it does everything over the counter, which means it does not help us at all. Again, it benefits Ripple, the company. Oh, bro, this Hidden Road stuff, they're going to be using XRP. They're using XRP to move stuff on XRP Ledger, which is already happening right now, which doesn't help us out price-wise. They did not, I repeat, they did not use XRP for liquidity or for clearing. They chose RLUSD. So again, tons of players out there in the YouTube and Twitter sphere going, oh, this is bullish. No, it's not, because they're not using XRP for anything meaningful. Using XRP for gas fees sucks. You know why? Because the burn rate is like nothing. Because XRP is super cheap to move money with. So they're using XRPL. RLUSD is used for liquidity and clearing, and XRP is just used to move stuff. Yeah, that's just like XLM being used to move stuff on the Stellar chain. It doesn't help out the price because it's so cheap to move stuff on chain. The transactions would have to be absolutely bonkers, like you've never seen in your life, like none of us have ever seen. We're talking hundreds of years down the road to get any price action from that. So yeah, am I happy for Ripple as a company? Sure. Am I?
What's up, Mr. Miles? What's going on? Yeah, I'll probably do a Casper live when I get back. I gotta run do some errands and finish this video up, and then we'll probably talk Casper next.
Happy for RLUSD in the ecosystem? Sure I am. But again, direct benefit for XRP is not seen here, as Ripple chooses not to use XRP for settlement, but instead to fuel transactions on XRPL, which it already does. So again, their announcement, nothing burger. Now, in terms of what's going on with CPI data, I wish CPI data wasn't this important. I wish we were sitting here at the beginning part of April going, CPI data, we could glance over, but no, it's going to play a huge role, especially with the tariff stuff going on. And yes, we're going to be having a live stream regarding that. So check us out, because tomorrow, probably at about 8 a.m. Eastern time, we're going to be launching the live stream. And yes, open questions, open comments, talk about whatever you want. Bro, I don't want to hear about me being negative with XRP when it's used.
Actually, Mr. Miles, definitely not. You ever get flagged from YouTube for playing these videos? Definitely not. I'm glad you do. I'll find some I never would have otherwise, but doesn't it hurt your revenue? But doesn't it hurt your revenue? Not really, because it's streaming. So, I don't know. I got to check into that. I haven't seen where it's actually impacting, right? Because it's still streaming the video, so it definitely helps us out there. Don't forget to check me out at 9 a.m. UTC time with this Mexi Turbo AMA about navigating the next phase of meme coins. But as always, let's get back to the money, guys, and stay dangerous. It's your main man BTM signing out. Hopefully, I'll be able to put a Caspa live up later, probably around 4:30, 5 o'clock. Let me know what you guys think. And don't forget to share the video and comment. And also give me some likes. Just like as many as you can. But gotta go. See you when I see you. And XRP to the moon. Miner out.